So I watched the Google Stadia presentation, and I have to say I'm really not that impressed with it. I'm not entirely sure who it's aimed at, and what the actual real benefits are to having to pay for the subscription-based service. So let's talk about the Stadia Founders Edition, which is basically the name for the early adopters version of the system. For this you pay £119 or $129, and for this you get a Chromecast Ultra to let you stream the game up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR and 5.1 surround sound from your TV. You also get a limited edition Night Blue Stadia controller, which does look very nice. But the Stadia service can be used with existing PlayStation and Xbox controllers, which we know are good controllers. And I'd say a lot of the gaming population will already own at least one of these controllers. The PlayStation and Xbox controllers can also be purchased for a lot less than the new Google controller can be bought for. Now I know it will have different tech and it may offer slightly different functions, but at the end of the day, it's still just a controller used to play a game. The Founders Edition also gives you a head start in the ability to pick your username, which means you might be able to pick the name you want without having to add any numbers to it. For example, like games12344, which I guess is important to some people. You also get a 3-month subscription and 3-month subscription to give away to a friend. Subscriptions in the UK cost $8.99 a month and $9.99 a month in the US. Now no offence to my friends, but I'd rather have the extra 3 months for myself. I mean, if I'm paying for this, instead of giving it away for somebody else to try out, I'd rather be able to use those 3 months myself. I know they are doing this to use the early adopters as a marketing tool, to help put the service in the hands of other people, with the hope of getting them to also sign up to the service. But that's still almost £30 or $30 that I'd rather have myself. Now there are 2 versions of Stadia that are coming out. One is the Stadia Pro, which is basically the Founders Edition I've just mentioned, which is the subscription-based model. The other is called Stadia Base, which they did not even talk about, but this is the free version, and it comes out next year. The only big main difference in my opinion is that you only get up to 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second in stereo sound. The only selling points of the subscription model, if you can even call them selling points, are that you can get up to the 4K streaming at 60 frames per second with 5.1 surround sound. And even that is going to depend on the quality of your internet. I know I would be able to get up to 1080p resolution pretty comfortably, but I'd have to upgrade my internet package to hit the 4K mark on a consistent basis, and that's an additional cost that I would not be willing to pay. Now they do also say that with the subscription-based model that you will get discounts on selected games and additional free games that will be released on a regular basis, and that's starting with the Destiny 2 collection. However, they did not say what kind of games will be discounted. Will these be AAA games or just older existing games like Destiny 2? Now Destiny 2 is a good game, but it can be picked up for a relatively cheap price on Amazon already. For example, the collection edition of Destiny, as listed as coming with Stadia, costs $21.99 right now on Amazon, and the base game itself sells for just over £5. And remember, if you buy it on Amazon, you will own it outright and always have access to it. Every other game that they are listed as being able to buy are already games that are or no doubt will be available on every other platform. Now this video sounds like I'm being purposely negative, but I'm really not. As it stands right now, I have no idea why you would want this service. Microsoft, Nintendo and Sony will all have exclusive games, so they won't be available on Stadia. The games that will be on Stadia will be games that appear on every other platform, like a FIFA or Assassin's Creed, which was what was used in the demo. The only other way to get people onto Stadia would be for Google to invest and develop their own games, which I'm sure they will do, but this will take time, so that won't happen overnight. The other option would be to do what Epic Games did, and that would be to throw a boatload of cash to developers for exclusive rights to their games for a period of time. As every game that is not an exclusive will be available for the most part on every other platform. Now if Google Stadia had a Netflix type model, where I paid so much a month to play all types of games, from retro classics to the latest modern day AAA games, all instantly accessible in 4K quality, then yes, I could totally see the benefit of that. Yes, I would never own the games, but for sheer accessibility and value for money, then yes, that would be a great compromise for a lot of people. However, like I said before, Microsoft, Nintendo and Sony are not going to give you access to their exclusive games on Stadia. Some other things that were not addressed were the latency issues. This is a very big deal, especially in online multiplayer games such as shooters or fighting games, where the slightest delay to your button input can totally destroy your gameplay. I guess we won't fully know how good or bad the latency is until people actually start getting their hands on the service and start using it. But it's still a big unanswered question, and if latency does turn out to be bad, then that could potentially kill the service rather quickly. Another worry I do have about the service is that Google does have a track record in cancelling and shutting down their products. The ones people may remember the most might be Google Glass. Remember when that was supposed to be the next big thing? The wearable glasses where the lenses displayed a head-up display unit that would kind of allow you to use the device like a hands-free version of a smartphone. And the other one would be, of course, Google+, which was Google's attempt to break into social networking, similar to that of Facebook. Now things fail. I don't have an issue with that, and I admire any company from trying to innovate or build upon existing ideas. But when my money is on the line, which it would be, from me purchasing the games and the subscription, then I'm going to pay closer attention. Can I download and back up the games I've purchased if the service were to end? The same could and probably was said about Steam, but that has now been established for some time. And if I had to choose to buy a game on Steam or Stadia, then I'd probably pick Steam. So to bring this to an end, in my opinion there is nothing for me at least that says I need to get Stadia right now. The only people I can see this being useful for are maybe the more casual gamer who just wants to play the odd game here and there every now and then. Or for people who do not or cannot afford a console or a PC that is up to spec that would allow them to access and play these games. If you fall into that category, then it might be something you might consider. If not, then I'd say most gamers will not need this service, at least not at this moment in time. Anyway guys, that was my brief opinion on Google Stadia. What do you all think? Is it something you want to get, or do you think it's destined to fail? Let me know in the comments below. So thanks for watching, please do comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.